Good morning, good afternoon, and a very happy Friday, and most importantly, a very, very Merry Christmas, everybody. Merry Christmas, Zerpoium.
Merry Christmas, Purple. Valkyrie, what is it? 11 a.m. shield bash to the face this morning. Merry Christmas to you all. Nice to see you all again. I hope I'm kind of looking festive. This is as festive
Hell
as I can
yes.
get. So it's great to see you all here. I am honored to be a part of this again. 3 times in 1 week. Aren't you guys sick of me yet? Jesus.
And I'm loving the festive background. That is gorgeous. I love the
Yeah.
tree.
I hope you guys appreciate this. I was just telling Purple I uprooted my computer and desk and moved it into this room just so we could be a little bit festive today for Christmas Eve. So thank you all for being here.
Absolutely. And before we get on to the topic of the day, let me say hello to everybody. So we've got Andrew who says Merry Christmas, sweetheart. We have got the lovely lady Arwen. She says Merry Christmas, Purple and Zerpoium. Merry Christmas, sweetheart. We've got Gum Bunny. She says we see Zerpoium's handsome face. Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah, what a beautiful liar you are. Thank you.
Good morning to the Bash Brothers. We've got Mark and we've got Chris. Hello, gentlemen. Good to see you. Let me see who else. I know we've got Psychodwarf 9. Good to see you as well. We've got Dave Bob. Hello, sir. We have got our favourites, Polar Bears, Poopers. Hello. We have got Jim the Viking and Archer Colin. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good to see you. Let's see. I know I saw D-Bud Martin was in here earlier. We've got Keely Chow. Roll Tide, Keely. Good morning. Let me scroll up and make sure I'm not missing anybody. Terry Rose, good morning to you. Good to see you. Is that Melody? Good to see you as well. Merry Christmas. And I think, Louise, we saw Louise is in here. Hello, sweetheart. Good to see you as well. And I think that's everybody rolling in. No, we've got Pat S. Good to see you as well. And Captain James T. Skywalker. Welcome. Good to see you. Arwin says, is that a Georgia Tech hat?
I was going to say, my dear, no. But the G's are exactly the same. Georgia Tech just uses different colors. And I forget off the top of my Green Bay Packer hat head which logo came first, but it is technically not a Georgia Tech logo. But in the spirit of the season, if it brings us a little bit closer together, yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Yes, I forgot you were a Packers fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I got my Pack hat. I've got Brett Favre on the wall up there. It is signed, by the way, like right there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but yeah. My pride and joy, my favorite player. He was the everyman. Loved watching that guy play. But we're not here for football today, are we? We're here to talk some Dovahkiin.
Can't talk sports ball because I know nothing about it.
Nah.
And hello, Pat.
Is it Christmas in Canada? Yeah, and believe it or not, there's actually snow outside today. But of course, it's mild out, and rumor has it was supposed to rain today. So, yeah, Merry Christmas Eve.
At least you got snow. We didn't get snow. We've just got a very kind of mild but sort of cold, kind of grey Christmas Eve. So I was like,
typical UK environments, I guess.
It's like 90% of the weather that we have, exactly.
Yeah. Zaj says today we are friends, tomorrow though. Oh, am I wearing something that offends you? I can't do anything. I can't do anything about my face. I'm sorry. So if that offends you, just turn everything
fine. Peace on earth, goodwill to all men, and all that.
and women, and whatever the hell you want to sexually identify as. To me, for example, today I'm going to sexually identify as a rock skipping across a pond.
That's really poetic. I like that.
Yeah, right before it sinks to the bottom and drowns.
And he sunk it. Okay.
And it's over. It's
done. And hello, sentient dildo. Good to see you, sweetheart.
It's so nice to see you all.
We've got a kind of Christmassy game because there's a lot of snow in Skyrim. So that's the connection I'm going with, and I'm sticking with it.
We'll go with
10 years ago, we had this little gnome game that kind of came out and went under the radar. Not a lot of people have probably heard of it. It was Elder Scrolls Skyrim. It is the 5th game in the Elder Scrolls series, and it was so popular, they just kept on releasing it ever since.
over and over and over again. And people kept buying it, myself included.
Yeah, I think I've got 3 copies.
Oh my god. Yeah, all my stuff is in the other room because I'm in this room today. But yeah, I've got a map of Skyrim. I've got 14 freaking copies of the game itself. But
Mhm. Have you succumbed and bought the newest edition? Because I haven't yet, but I'm sorely tempted to.
no, I can't bring myself to do it, and I'll tell you why real quick. It's just because, well, most importantly, I know as soon as I upgrade to it, it's gonna break my mod
Mhm.
list. It's gonna absolutely destroy it, and I've put so much time and effort into putting that together.
Yes.
And the other reason is, while there are a lot of great mods on there that I wouldn't mind trying out, I just
Mhm.
can't bring myself to fork over the $20 to upgrade to another
Yes.
version of Skyrim that includes content that should have never had a price tag put on it to begin with.
Yes, that I would agree with. And just
Hmm.
briefly touching on the mods, because I think we're going to do a whole other show just dedicated
Yeah,
to the mods of Skyrim. But it's like playing Jenga, trying to
yeah,
balance these mods, because if you put the wrong mod in the wrong place, it crashes the game.
yeah. And for those of you that have mods on console, I'm sorry. I was there.
Uh-huh.
I was there. I was downloading mods to my Xbox One, and then when I got Skyrim on PC, it was a whole different world, ladies and gentlemen. That's really where it's at. I mean,
Hmm.
to play with mods on console, you're kind of getting some good stuff there, but you really got to do it on PC if you want to have the absolute most amount of fun with mods. Plus, you
Yes.
can get all the naughty ones on PC too.
To be fair, you can get a few of the more risque ones on the console, because I've
Hmm.
got them. I know they
Until
exist. Yes.
Bethesda takes them down, so get them while the
Yes.
going's good.
Yeah. Get them and just kind of hide them in your mod list so Bethesda
Yeah,
doesn't notice.
yeah,
Yes.
and don't ever update your game again, or it'll
Mm-mm.
just
No.
disappear.
No, once it's there, you keep a hold of them. You
Yeah.
squirrel those away.
Hmm.
But what is it about the game, do you think, that made it so popular? Do you think it was because it was such a deviation from the previous games? Archie Collin was talking about Daggerfall, and we had Oblivion, obviously. We had
Hmm.
Morrowind, which were incredibly popular as well. But there was
Yeah.
something about Skyrim that just rocketed it.
Well, to summarize as briefly as I can, I think it was, and a lot of people will knock it for this too, but I think it was made more commonplace, more
Hmm.
accessible for your average player who maybe aren't necessarily used to that type of format. Because I mean, Daggerfall, especially, oh my God, it was
Yes,
huge,
it was.
absolutely huge. I mean, it takes from point A to point B to walk across that map. I think took over 60 hours real time.
That is
You know,
insane.
yeah, and that's a true story, guys. That's how big that map was. I mean, spectrum wise, it was about the size of Great Britain. It's
Hmm.
massive,
Yeah.
massive. Um, but anyway, I'm veering off topic. But yeah, I legitimately think it was just made more accessible for everybody, myself included.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it was such a. I mean, and obviously you've got your loyalists that are just going to buy into it anyway if they've already been through, you know, Battle Arena and Daggerfall and et cetera, et cetera. So,
Hmm.
and of course, being launched on consoles that were just mass marketed to absolutely everybody. I mean, everybody had either a PlayStation or an Xbox by then in
Hmm.
2011. I mean, come on.
And to be fair to Bethesda, when the game launched, it looked incredible. I mean, it still
Hmm.
looks great to this day, but they
Yeah.
really, really knocked it out of the park with the visuals, with the
Hmm.
landscapes, with the weather that they
Yeah.
used. I mean, we got mods later on that added, it kind of put a shine on it, but it still
Yeah.
looked great, the base game.
Absolutely. So I have to ask, what after all this time,
Hmm.
modders aside, because modders I believe are really holding the glue to this game together. Otherwise, I don't think it would have lasted 10 years, or not as prominently. Because I think on average you can probably find 10,000 to 20,000 people a day still playing this thing. So, but what about the game in general keeps you coming back to it? What do you still enjoy getting out of it?
I think it's because it was so open world. You know, you could start a quest or you could start the main quest and then you could do nothing but side quests for
Yeah.
hours and hours and hours. You know, you didn't even have to really touch the main quest with the dragons and still have a fantastic time. It wasn't a game that forced you to follow a certain path to progress.
Right.
And if you veered off somewhere where you shouldn't go, you sure as heck knew about it,
Oh
which I
yeah, for
also
sure.
loved as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd agree with that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the enemies really were challenging. You know, the first time you come across the Droga, for example,
Ugh.
they can kick your ass if you're not prepared
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, that those kind of freaked me out, you know. And funnily enough, after playing on PC, just absolutely not mastering the game itself, but having access to all these quality life improvements or whatever. You know, last summer I bought it on Nintendo Switch. Down, nope,
Nice.
sorry, down there.
Over there.
Over there. I bought it on Switch, and obviously that is complete vanilla Skyrim in its unmodded state as it was meant to be played. And I'll never forget going through Bleak Falls Barrow, your first official dungeon that you're supposed to go on, and I'm thinking, oh, I've actually got to be careful here now. This is a little freaky because I don't
Yes.
have anything that's gonna back me up here. You know, it was kind of cool to go back to the roots there and kind of re-experience all that in the way it was meant to be played.
It really was, and it made you not cautious, but it made you think about how you were going to play,
Hmm.
and the way that the skill system set up. You have to really kind of ration out your skill points
Yeah.
and decide, you know, what do you want to focus on. And Ian so forth, I absolutely agree. Says nothing more terrifying than the roar of a dragon overhead when you're caught unaware. You're caught out in the open and a dragon
Oh,
appears. It's like, oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Especially on those legendary difficulties, because as soon as that dragon burps on you, you're pretty much dead. Oh, yeah.
That, and
Just
I didn't realize until I got too close to one that they actually kick you. That was a fun thing
yeah,
to find out.
yeah. Or they flap their wings at you and just ugh, ugh, ugh. Oh man, yeah. There's so much. Those dragons are badass, especially when you start meeting those legendary ones. So, 'cause-
Yes.
yeah,
I love the design of the dragons. I mean, technically, I suppose you would call them wyverns because they don't have the front legs. But I
and
love the design of Alduin. I love the
yeah.
design of Parthenax. I think, yeah,
Party snacks. Party
party
snacks is
snacks.
I like.
Yes,
Actually,
Mario.
yeah. Real quick story. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name again, but Parthenax, voiced by the exact same guy who voices Super Mario.
Yes, that blew
That's
my mind.
Dragon Mario. Yep. Oh man. Oh, look at that Borg Porg starting up with a little $2 sticker there. Woo.
Hey, good morning, Borpor. Thank you, sweetheart. It says Skyrim in VR is the best experience so far. Now that I would love to do. I've
I
heard
would
it
love
is
to.
brilliant.
Yeah. You know what weirds me out about that though is walking down a spiral staircase in VR. I'm just worried that would make me harf.
Yeah. Straight out.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but oh yeah, seeing that in real time that would be absolutely phenomenal.
And thank you so much, Borpor. Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
Hey, yeah.
Mark says, thank you, Purple and Zerpoium. Paying a visit to Steam shortly.
Oh, excellent. Yeah.
Nice.
How about some Christmas money, Bethesda? I've bought enough of your shit over the past 10 years.
Yes, how about you give a little bit back?
Yeah.
Snorter Pooper says the dragons are just oversized iguanas with an attitude problem.
Yeah. You want to know how to quell their attitude? Just use a bend will on them. That'll shut them the hell up.
Yes,
But
that's
you
funny.
you must go to Solstheim for that, folks. Why do I
I
keep
like
looking over here?
I like salsa. I was gonna say who's over there?
Who's over there? It's because the microphone's there. I thought I was gonna kick back. I don't know. Can y'all hear me okay if I just kick back and relax a little bit?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine. You sound great.
Okay, good. Yeah.
What did you think about the very start of the game? I mean, it's been memed endlessly. You know, you wake up on a cart.
Yeah. And of course you're a prisoner again. That's why I'm gonna have to plug mods again, because Live Another Life, alternate start, it is a must have. But that's a
Yes,
whole
it
other
is.
show. It's a whole other
Yes,
show.
it is. It skips that.
Obviously the first time you're going through, I God, I don't even know if I can remember what it was like back then, but Obviously going through it your first time, it gives you a little time to take in the scenery and your surroundings, and then you hear all the other people talking, and then you're just kind of thrust into, oh, there's a civil war going on, oh, I'm gonna get beheaded, what is this? And then a big fucking dragon comes down. um
and just sets fire to
and
everything.
yeah, and then you're just thrust right into it, and that was a pretty unreal experience. Seeing that big black son of a bitch come down and just shred the sky apart. It was pretty unreal.
It was. It was a hell of an entrance. And then
Yeah,
it gives you the choice right at the beginning that you're not expecting. It's like, who do you follow? Do you follow
yeah.
this guy or do you
Even though
follow this guy?
it doesn't make a difference anyway, but
It doesn't, but the first time
yeah,
I played it, I was like, what?
yeah, no kidding. Of course, with the memes and all that, it's been memed to hell and high water, but there's still so much I love about it, especially, well, for example, I mean, once you go through it once, you really don't have to go through it again. The same could be said for, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the things we dislike as well, because it's not perfect,
Yes,
obviously.
absolutely.
It's the same as the season unending quest, where you hold the peace council together, and then you're sitting around the table talking. Like, who wants to sit here for an hour and watch people talk?
Yes, gotta go. Hey,
But like the intro, the first time you go through that, you're thinking, whoa, I just went Keanu Reeves.
whoa,
You're thinking,
dude.
whoa, it felt like it had some serious weight to it, because you're essentially deciding, what hold is going to fall victim to what, and what implications and ramifications are going to happen from that. So
Yeah, you think there's going to be, big gravitas,
of course, and
decision.
and then in the end, no, it doesn't matter. But still, to go through those experiences the first time, it's a pretty unreal experience, I must say. Yeah.
For me as well, I was really impressed with how well the magic and the melee was balanced, because we've had games in the past, like I'm thinking like Witcher 2, for example. Now Witcher 3 is a brilliant game, but they always had trouble with balancing the the melee combat, swords and whatever, and magic. But Skyrim, you can have a sword in one hand and cast spells in the other, and it's seamless.
It is. It was absolutely seamless. I mean, for example, my current playthrough, oh geez, this guy is now level 104, and I'm just about to wrap up the College of Winterhold as Serana's as Serana's protege, because I figured, because in my mind I'm role playing, right? Like, every character is different. So this guy started off as warrior and all that kind of crap. Finish a main quest, go do the College of Winterhold, do Dawnguard, and I'm thinking, yeah, Serana's going to teach this guy how to be a mage, and that in essence gets me a way to continue leveling up. So it's what keeps me coming back. That's a prime example. It's what you want to get out of it, what you want to put into it, what you find enjoyment in on the daily basis.
Yes. Do you think a lot of people kind of use that as a kind of way to escape into this game? Because, like you say, if you go down that route, it is quite a heavy kind of role-playing experience that you can have. Especially, I'm guessing if you had, the VR, that is even more.
For sure. For sure. And yes, I was just about to point that out. You know what I would love to role play sometime, and this would require the Live Another Life mod. I'd always thought about making a character who does nothing but a trade skill of some sort, whether that be blacksmithing or going out in the wilds and gathering game and bringing that back and crafting leather and weapons. But oh my God, guys, I swear it would take forever to make a decent buck doing that. I promise you that.
Well, anyone who's played Elder Scrolls Online will tell you that how hard it is.
Yeah, and I even got Blackwood on sale for Black Friday, and I fired it up for 10 minutes, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like, all my spec points were redistributed or reset, and of course all my add-ons were outdated, and oh my God. Yeah, and yes, thank you for the infinite smithing mod. We will get into those when we do a mod list, because there are some must-haves, which we will go through. But
yes, I love that idea. We could do a top 10 of you
oh,
must-have mods and
let's
compare
see.
the two.
I could probably give you off the top of my head a top 133, but we won't need to get into that. All right, I do want to ask this. So, rapid fire.
Hmm.
Favorite Daedric artifact?
Ooh, see, for me, I really love her scene. I love the werewolves. I love that side. But if I'm
Well
going to
met,
pick
hunter.
a particular one, it would have to be Molo Bal's mace.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you so much. And credit to the sound designer, because I don't know who did his voice. It's like, kill him, crush his bones, tear at his flesh. Man, I'm a straight white Canadian, but they made Molag Bal sound so damn sexy in that game.
Yes.
Like even just the little touches with the flange that they put on his voice. Sorry.
Hmm.
Flange is that really subtle metallic sweep you hear. Like you're talking to God. Yeah, that's the example. But
I loved Molo Bal in Skyrim, and I kind of wish that we had more quests with him because he takes up obviously a huge chunk in online, but he's
yeah.
voiced by oh god, who is it who voices him?
Yeah, it was totally different. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a famous actor, and I can't remember his name, but it'll come to me later. But yeah, it was a completely different voice, but he's so much better in Skyrim because, like you
Yeah.
say, he's got that kind of dangerous sound to him.
Yeah, and he's right in your head, and especially when you're in the house and it's doing all that poltergeist crap there. Oh my god, yeah.
And Colin brings up a really good one that's very useful as well that I use, but I use the Black Star so I can get both songs. Yes,
Yeah.
Azura's Star, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but I think for just the fact that artifact is infinitely useful, I would put that in probably my top 3.
Yes,
But
it's
just
definitely a must-have.
yeah, but just the quest, the environment, and the voice acting alone, and just how badass it looks, I would have to go with the Mace of Molag Bal. Even if I don't even use maces at all, and I don't even really use that weapon at all, but it is just such a cool way to get it.
It is, and it looks great. It looks like a really formidable weapon.
Yeah.
Just quickly, let me say a massive thank you and Merry Christmas to Psychodorf9. Thank you, sweetheart. He says, so many great games, not enough time. Haven't done Skyrim. Well, we would definitely recommend it. I mean, if you've got the time to kind of sink into it, it's one of those games that you put a couple of hours in, you think, and then you look up and it's 11 hours later.
Then you're like me and you're approaching the 3,000 mark and you're thinking, what the hell have I done with my life?
Played Skyrim, regret nothing.
Yeah, I see you there, Mexican Iron Man. Yeah, I thought we had something. I thought we had something charming and wholesome, but all right, whatever.
And good morning and Merry Christmas to Puppy. Thank you so much. He sends us a $10 super chat. Thank you, sweetheart. He says, boo, Green Day Packers. No pack, no. But purple, good news. Cool Santa, I'm wrapped up and ready to be delivered underneath your tree. Feel free to rip all, in caps, of my wrapping paper off. Giggity.
Well, but why would she get excited about rewrapping the same old junk she didn't play with the year before?
Ooh, shots
Sorry,
fired.
that was for the pack remark. Don't think I didn't have something ready for you. No. Love you, buddy. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much. It's so good to see you this morning. We did have a question. Let me roll up. Here we go. Soul Assassin has a very important question. He says, when was your first sweet roll experience?
Oh, I don't know. There have been many sweet rolls in my lifetime. I don't think I could go back and pinpoint the first one.
They're all memorable for different reasons.
But I have to be totally unprofessional here. So, Purple, you carry us on because I go through coffee real quick. So I'm going to get a refill.
Go for it. Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Mark says, feel the burn. Peace on earth, as I said, guys. Goodwill to all men. But it is so good to see you today. Colin, thank you. Christopher Corey Smith plays Molag Bal in Skyrim. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't think it was a famous actor because it's I think it's oh god, I can't remember who the actor is, but I'll look it up. But I know in Elder Scrolls, it's a famous actor that does the voice for him, but so much better. And JPRPH1, hello, sweetheart. And I want to say a massive thank you. You sent a tip the other day. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you. And a very, very Merry Christmas. Thank you, sweetheart. You're the best.
Goodness me. How unprofessional of me. I'm sorry. But yeah, my mugs of coffee never last long. So thank you all for
we need
bearing with me.
infinite. We need an infinite coffee mod.
Oh, no kidding. Where's Azure Star when I need it?
Snorter Pooper says there are sweet rolls and then there are sweet rolls.
Let me
Indeed.
guess. Someone stole your sweet roll.
Can we talk a little bit about the voice acting, because we were talking about it with the
Sure.
voice of Molag Bal.
I think we got time to run through what, all 5 or 6 of them that are in there.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm thinking, there was a lot of crossover with the voice actors.
Yeah.
But to be fair to them, they really did a good job. You can tell that they were doing their best to differentiate the different voices. So if somebody voiced a Jarl and then, a guard, at least he tried his best to make the voices sound different.
Yeah. And big shout out to, what's his name? Wes Johnson. Yes. And yeah, I mean, there's so many great, and RIP Max von Sydow, because you freaked the hell out of me in The Exorcist. God damn. Yeah, and Christopher Plummer and Linda Carter. Actually, she was in Oblivion too, believe it or not.
Yes, she was. Surprisingly.
Yeah, and just because I have nothing but respect for the voice actors, because when you think about, you're in a room and you're in there with, your 20 other people that are recording all these lines. It's like, okay, here's your textbook for Whiterun Guard number 1. So you record all this stuff, and it's like, okay, now you have to do the same with the Jarl of Whiterun right there, and then random bandit number 70 billion, and to go through all that, I cannot imagine how long it must have taken to put all that together. So props to them, because I bet they were drinking a lot of tea during those sessions.
Yes. Plus, there's lines that, depending on where you go in the game, you might never hear. There's recorded dialogue that people have probably never heard because of the choices that they've made.
Yeah, no kidding. That brings up an interesting point. A quick story, because this absolutely blew my mind. If you're like me, you've played through the main campaign 800 billion times already, right? So if your memory will serve you, if you remember Malborn, the guy who was working the bar at the Thalmor embassy, who smuggled all your goods in for you.
Yes. Yeah, I know the guy.
If you're good with your weapons, you can save him from dying to the Thalmor, right? Yeah, you and me both, buddy. Merry Christmas to you, my brother. I don't know if you saw my message earlier during your show, but that was all for you.
Good morning, boss.
Yes. So you're in the Thalmor embassy, you do your thing, and if you can take out the guards in time, Malborn will actually get away with you. Now the Thalmor will be hunting me for the rest of my life. I hope it was worth it. And then he just runs away.
Yeah, he just disappears off over the horizon.
He just disappears. And let me tell you this, because this blew my mind. I was in Windhelm, probably in-game months after the main campaign was over, just going through Windhelm to do something. I don't remember what it was. And I stopped into the little gray quarter where all the Dunmer lived down there. And I went to that pub when that dark elf says, "You look like you could use a drink. What do you say to some cheap mead?" And I'm thinking, you know what? Sure, why not? I went into this pub. Malborn was sitting at the bar. He was sitting at the bar. I've never seen him after the quest was over. I'd never seen him again. And he was sitting at the bar, and he's waiting to get away. Like, he wants to flee Skyrim because he's afraid the Thalmor are after him. And he said, I'm afraid to leave because I believe there's a Khajiit assassin standing at the, whatever. So sure enough, I take a walk out there, and the Khajiit caravan is over there. And there's another Khajiit over to the left. So I went up and I'm talking to the caravan, and it's like, "Oh no, that Khajiit did not come with us." And of course, the other Khajiit was an assassin, and he tried to kill me. So I killed him, and I went back to the bar, told Malborn, and he said, "Oh, great, thank you. Now I can finally leave." And he got up and left. I didn't even know that
A
was a thing.
happy ending.
10 years later, guys, I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's crazy, and that just is a testament to. I know we kind of bash on Bethesda now, but 10 years ago, Bethesda were on the top of their game, and that just shows how much care they put into this game.
Absolutely.
They could have just had this throwaway character that disappears over the horizon. You never see him again, but you wonder, does Thalmor catch up with him? Does he get killed? Does he have a happy ending? And now you can actually make it so that he has a happy ending.
Yeah. And had I not gone to Windhelm, I never would have went into that bar. And I went in there for no reason either. I was just thinking, okay, yeah, I'll go in and buy some ale and give my guy a drink and then leave. But sure enough, he's just sitting right there. And I never knew that until now. It's like every time I go through something, I'm still finding new stuff about it. And it blows my mind. 10 years on and we still don't know everything.
It really is. And I bet there's these little kind of hidden caves and things that people still haven't found. And little alcoves that you haven't gone down. Let me just say a massive thank you and Merry Christmas, sweetheart, to TZ Canadian. He sent us a $10 super chat. Thank you, sweetheart. He says, I just want to say I enjoy listening to you so much. Merry Christmas. Better days are coming. Absolutely. Better days are coming. 2022, guys, is just around the corner. I've got a feeling. I think it's going to be a fantastic year for us all. So
I can feel it.
Merry Christmas.
Coming in the air tonight. Oh, no.
Hey,
oh my God. Look at this. Ian Southforth popping right up there now. Holy crap.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you so much, sweetheart. And Merry Christmas to you too. He says, I followed Melbourne when he ran off until I realised he wasn't going anywhere interesting. Hate to leave this early, but Merry Christmas, Purple, Zerpoium and chat. Merry Christmas, sweetheart. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Hope you have a wonderful, relaxing Christmas, and my best to you. Absolutely. Thank you.
Merry Christmas. Oh, man, what a fantastic chat.
We have the best chat, don't we? We have amazing people.
Such fun. Such fun.
Isash Melody says, sadly, only the Gajit I know are Wookiees. Never a happy ending.
You have much to learn about the race of elsewhere now, yes?
Speaking of races, since we've kind of veered off in that direction, what was your first race? What did you create? What was the first character?
Nord. Still a Nord all the way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Although after doing it for this long, I'm starting to think, it would be really cool. It'd be really cool to play an orc, like a two-handed warrior orc. Go over to whatever hut they got there and pick up Volendrung and just bash the shit out of everything as a full-on bulwark.
As a berserker,
yeah. And then it's like, oh, what also would be really cool would be to be a sneaky Khajiit, Maybe take him to the Thieves Guild now, yes?
Khajiit are great.
And the cheese! Cheese! Yeah, there's just so much you can do. But for some reason, just because I find it so universal, I keep going back to a Nord. And I don't not even a Breton or an Imperial or anything like that. It's just always been a Nord. I don't know why.
Yes. I've only ever done Nord, which was my first character. I have done a Khajiit because I really like the design of them, because they put a lot of work into the the patterns and the look of them. And I actually made an Argonian because I'd never made a lizard character before.
Yeah, me either. Me either. And you can breathe underwater. Yay.
Exactly. Yay.
Yeah. I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. Absolutely. Yeah, there's just so many possibilities. I know on my Nintendo Switch, I did try Dark Elf and a High Elf just because they get boosts to your magicka and things like that. But yeah, it's just because it's so universal and you're in Skyrim, home of the Nords. I just kept going back to a Nord.
I did as well.
And it was always a dude too. Like I wasn't one of those guys that made a chick and then dressed her up in slutty outfits. I've always been a dude. Always.
I have male and female characters and they're all dressed in slutty outfits. So.
Yeah. Well, to touch on this, because I know this would be a whole other debate. Yes, I do got some bad mods on my Skyrim game. I do have, to summarize real quick, I have a mod that makes characters naked when you strip them. And if you'll indulge me, let me actually tell you why. Because if you go through and you kill whoever it was that attacked you and you loot them, to me, it just doesn't make sense for every male and female character to be wearing the same loincloth instead of underwear.
Yes. Yes,
And
that
for
is true.
those of you that are thinking, yes, the mod makes my males nude too. So if you take all their stuff, the dong is out there. I am all about equal opportunity. If there's a pair of titties, there's some junk happening down south too.
Equal opportunities nudity. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. But, oh man. Okay, so favorite divine prince, or the Aedra, or one of the favorite of the 9 divines. 8 if you exclude Talos.
Yes, see, I always kind of veer towards the Daedra because I think they're more interesting, to be honest.
Absolutely,
yeah. I never really have that much interest in the divines, I've got to admit. So, I'm struggling to think of one that I actually kind of like. I always like the
they're really not that interesting.
They're really not that interesting. No, that's the problem. I'm trying to think of one that actually springs to mind that's really got anything going for them.
Well, I mean, Mara lets you get married, but that's about it. But I mean,
yeah, I mean, I use Talos. Mara is useful, I guess.
She gives you that nice magic resistance active effect or whatever if you do her quest. I'm kind of partial to Debella, the goddess of beauty. I mean, she's the one that wants you to be free and and go out there and enjoy the fruits of everybody's loins. I mean, she's down for having a good time.
Debella's pretty cool. Yeah, I suppose she's kind of the closest to kind of like a hedonistic sort of character. And I do like the statues that you can find of her all around.
Oh yeah, and we've got mods that cover those as well. Oh my, the true divine goddess of beauty. Oh my. Anyway, we're getting off topic again. I'm sorry, guys. We'll try to keep it PG now.
No, we don't need to keep PG. We know exactly what's going on. And let me just say hello to the Darren Zone and Merry Christmas, sweetheart. Good to see you as well. And Justice for Depp. Hello, lovely. Good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Soul Assassin says Debella and that innkeeper in Riften is a freak. Yes, I know the one that you mean. The one that is obsessed with Debella, and if you go to the
you're talking about old Helga, who's got the jar of honey, the stamina potion, the Falmer blood elixir, and the Horker tusk under her bed.
She came prepared.
And leather strips. Yeah, I heard her having a conversation with someone in the Bee and Barb, the pub in Riften. And this guy was saying, "Oh, I can't. We can't continue this. I can't do that." And Helga says, "Oh, you weren't saying the same thing last night when you were licking honey off my." And then she just stopped.
Damn!
Wow, damn, woman, take me for a ride, will you? What a whore.
But that's the great thing as well, because you can just wander across these conversations that the NPCs are having, and you think, did I just hear that?
Yeah, it's like I've heard, and they say bitch 3 times in that game. Helga's been called a whore by Maven. And, oh man, but Riften is a whole other can of worms. Because if I ever play the Thieves Guild, if you want to harken back to Oblivion, they kind of help people out. They get crooked guards reassigned. They don't steal from the poor. So if I ever play a thief, because a lot of people hate Riften because it's so corrupt. When I master the Thieves Guild, I give all that money back. Like I invest in the Riften shops. I don't steal from the people there. And, things like that. Because
Riften's a miserable place anyway. You don't really want to make it worse just by being there.
And I will say, I might be in the minority here, but to me, my least favorite city to go to is Markarth.
Markarth's very dull.
There's something about it. One is the architecture. I can't figure that out to save my life. And someone straight up gets murdered in the street as soon as you enter. Although if you're quick, the second time you do that, you can save her.
Yes, you can. Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
you can
but
take him out.
yeah, but of course, all the guards there are corrupt too. You know, they throw you down and sit in a mine to be a slave. But oh god, yeah, yeah, Thieves Guild itself, side missions, not that great. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm just not really a fan of Markarth. It's got a really nice house, but not a fan. But while we're at it, what's your favorite hold?
I like Solitude.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's probably my favorite. I like Whiterun. I think that is really great. I mean, it's the first one you go to. It's the one that I
Yeah.
seem to kind of gravitate back to. One, because it's smack dab in the middle of the map. It's easy to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I just like the layout. I like that it's in kind of levels. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of irritating walking through and hearing the same lines over and over again.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
still.
But
And
that's
it's got
everywhere.
the werewolf guild.
Yeah, the companions.
the companions, yeah.
AKA not fighters guild, but hey, you got to pick your battles.
Yes.
Yeah. Which brings me to my next question. Favorite guild?
Favorite guild? I do the companions. I
Yeah.
really like them. I do the thieves guild. I like the assassins. The assassins are more interesting than the thieves. The thieves are very long-winded, I found, but I do like that there's a lot of kind of interesting items that you can get if you do go down the thieves guild, especially the lockpick, which is
Yeah.
really useful.
Yeah, absolutely. I was not a big fan of the Dark Brotherhood. I mean, it's still cool to be able to do that, but no, Mark, just do it. Just stop.
Just do it.
Get yourself a Christmas present. Actually, you know what? Wait and see if it goes on sale for Boxing Day. If not, just get it then. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I always ended up gravitating to the Thieves Guild because they always made me a lot of money, which I would then give back to the city. And during the main quest, I always made sure that Maven never took Jarlship of Riften because I want to cleanse that city. You know, I want to give back to it.
They're completely corrupt as a family. I really like the Blades as well, though, because one, the armor's great, and I like their storyline as well. I thought they were really interesting.
Absolutely.
Are you a completist when it comes to collecting things? Like, you have to have all of the armors, all of the weapons?
God, you know, I would have to say no, simply because I often get to a certain point in a playthrough where I stop and start over again. You know, because I'm kind of working, because the very last full playthrough I did, I made a point to defeat all the dragons at their mounts. You know, the actual dragon shrines.
Yes.
Yeah, and this one, since I'm doing the College of Winterhold again, which takes you through Labyrinthian at some point, you have access to the dragon priest busts there.
Oh, they're so annoying, those dragon priests.
Yes. So this one, I'm thinking of trying to make a point to collect all the dragon priest masks, just so I can finally scratch that off my list and say I've done it.
Yes, that and those weird dragon claws. You know, there's like the ruby and the emerald. It looks like a chicken foot.
Yeah, really don't care if I ever collect any of those anyway, because they're which does bring me to one gripe that I would have to mention.
Okay.
Because we've all played, like, I absolutely adore Oblivion. I will play that any day of the week. It is dated as all hell, but that's why it's so charming to me.
A lot of people in the chat are still talking about Oblivion. It is a great game. It really is.
Yeah, I love Oblivion. And a lot of the reason for that is because if you wanted to be a mage, you knew where to go for that. Like, if you wanted to join the Mages University, there's a whole spectrum of things you have to do for that. If you want to join the Thieves Guild, there's certain things you have to do for that. If you want to join the Dark Brotherhood, etc., etc. The one thing I did not particularly enjoy about Skyrim, especially during a casual playthrough, is you're kind of, throughout the main quest, you're shoehorned into every guild or faction that's in there.
Yes.
You know, it's like, well, I don't want to be a mage, but now they're making me go to the College of Winterhold to blah, 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 blah. Or, you know, I don't want to be a thief, but now I got to go talk to Brynjolf and Riften because he knows where friggin' Max von Sydow's hiding. You know, I mean, if you know what you're doing, you could skip all that. But I wish they
Yes.
hadn't thrust you into everything the way
That
it
you
was
had
done.
to be the head
Yeah.
of every single guild that you
Yeah.
came across.
Yeah.
Because
See,
by
that
the end
just
of it, you're like
yeah.
your archmage, you're head of the
Mhm.
thieves guild, you're head of the blades, you're head of the dark brotherhood, you're an assassin
Yeah.
and a thief. Don't know how that works.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, especially like if you go from the Dark Brotherhood and then all of a sudden you're listener there, and then you go to the Thieves Guild and you got Maven Blackbar saying, "One snap of my fingers and I will send the Dark Brotherhood after you," and you're sitting there thinking, "Bitch,
Mhm.
please,
Yes.
so fight me now."
Bring it.
Yeah. Now I think, and thank you, Daryl the Derelict, but I think a lot of that may have something to do with them making it more accessible for everybody, right? But
Yes.
I just wish they had not really done that.
Yes, or if you do choose one path, you can say the Brotherhood, I'm done with you guys now, thank you, I'm going to move on and do somebody
Yeah.
else. You're not stuck with all of them at the
Yeah.
same time. But yes, thank you, Daryl. Hello, sweetheart, and Merry Christmas to you. Says, I'm late. Here's something for Christmas cheer. Well,
Cheers. And Frosty says
cheers.
cheers. My
Skol to
Frosty
you
mug.
too.
Skol, my buddy. Good to see you
Thank
again.
you. Thank you so much. I've got to ask as well, as you progress through the game, you get followers. Do you like
Yes.
the followers, or do you tell them to stay, put?
Well, I'll get my dirty laundry out of the way. Like everybody else, I have blown Lydia off the top of the throat of the world.
Yeah,
Poor Lydia. But you
Lydia
know
got
what?
killed. Yeah.
I adore Lydia. I absolutely do. I love Lydia.
Sorry, I've just realised what you said as well. Phrasing.
Oh, no. It was not the no, she hasn't blown
He
me.
means with the shout.
Yeah, with the shout, Fusro da, not get your ass down there. Yeah, she blew me at the throat of her world, I'll tell you that. No, I adore Lydia because she's just sworn to carry our burdens, and there are mods that make her better too, and they make her more beautiful as well. But even in vanilla, I just appreciate her for what he is. She's sworn to your service. She's there to look after things for you. She's essentially your first companion that you can ever find storyline wise.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy the companions, more so with mods that make them a hell of a lot more useful. But yes, and Aella the Huntress, oh my god, best.
Yes.
If you want to level up your
I really
archery,
like her.
marry her. Actually, funny story, quick story. Back when I first got it on 360, the very first time I was playing it, I married Aella, and I never ever finished the main campaign on that console because when Aella and I got married, I wasted the rest of my time just running around the plains of Whiterun, her and I just hunting things with our bows. That's all I ever did.
That's a happy ending. I love that.
Yeah, it
like,
was beautiful.
Dragons, what dragons?
Yeah, and that particular playthrough was probably over 200 hours with nothing done. I got nothing done. Oh,
yes.
yes. Okay.
Serena, was it? The vampire?
Serana,
that's it.
Oh, if only she were real. Voiced by the wonderful Laura Bailey, who also voiced another vampire, Blood Rain. I do believe we covered that before. But in terms of personality, character development, and story, Serana is my favorite.
She is. That was a great DLC add-on as well.
Oh, absolutely. Because I think they took all of that to heart, saying, "Oh, your companions are just so cookie cutter," and they're thinking, "All right, here you go.
We're going to give you one that is actually powerful and one that you actually like talking to."
And guess what, guys? Oh, she is totally into you. But no, you can't marry her. What a cock tease. But no, I adore Serana. If I ever play a character that goes through the Dawn Guard, she then becomes my one and only companion.
Mm-hmm. I had her as a companion for the longest time. Even though my character was a werewolf, it still worked. It was great.
Yep. Yeah. And real quick to Jim the Viking, I've watched those so many times, I sometimes accidentally call Keanu Reeves Rihanna Keeves. Yeah. If I wasn't on camera right now to do this show, my avatar probably would have been Rihanna Keeves. That is true. That is true. If you haven't, guys, go check out the Spiffing Brits Skyrim exploits because they are hilarious.
You know what? I haven't actually seen that, but now that it's been brought up, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's just very fun. Oh, and thank you, Bone.
Thank you, Bone.
What a lovely little pretty Khajiit kitty you are there. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sweetheart. Bone sent us a $5 super chat. He says, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too as well, honey. I hope you're having a good one. And big hello to Ensign Ricky. Good to see you. He says, I'm replaying Fallout 4 now. Just played Skyrim again about 6 months ago. Fully modded Fallout 4 is still the best game Bethesda has out at the moment.
I really enjoyed Fallout 4.
I really like the Fallout games.
Yeah.
I've got to admit.
Yeah. But we're not here to talk about guns. Come on. No.
Even though there are mods that you can have.
Yeah, I don't use gun mods though. Like everything I have is
yeah.
pretty lore friendly. Yeah.
Yes.
But I
have a lightsaber.
Well, I get the feeling that you're into some pretty wet, wild, and out there stuff. So we'll get into that next time when we have enough time to prep a parental warning on the screen for everybody.
We'll put a prefaces, definitely not for kids, this one.
Let me show you the real throat of the world. Get down there.
Since we keep bringing him up, what do you think of the character Majik? We keep bringing him up. Do you like him? Do you like that he keeps popping up throughout the world? I found him really irritating, I've got to admit.
Mike is tired now. Go bother someone else. I don't know if this is true, but I heard, because Skyrim itself loads in cells. Like the overworld itself. I don't know how many cells it's divided up into. But I heard a rumor, and I don't know if it's true, that no matter where you are in Skyrim, Maik is loaded somewhere in the same area. It's just whether or not you actually come across him or not. That could be. That's not my rumor, folks. I just heard that from somewhere else. I don't know if that's true or not. But
to be fair, how often you run into him, that would actually make a lot of sense, because he's everywhere, and you can just be walking down or riding a horse down a road, and there he is standing at the corner.
Yeah. Personally, I've never run into him that much. Because I'm guilty of using fast travel a lot. Not so much these days, because I'm really trying to take my time and enjoy things for what they are, trying new things. But I like Maik. I think he's cool. Well, because let's face it, he's been in every single Elder Scrolls game in some form or another. So that's why Maik is could be a generation. Yeah. So I enjoy him. I think he's funny. You just talk to him for a bit, and then he just gets fed up with you and says, "Piss off."
but he initiates the conversation.
Yeah. It's like, Maik starts to think all Skyrim Lords had beautiful fur like Khajiit. But yeah, I don't know. There's so many random NPCs that can just charm your pants off, and there's too many to mention. But I don't know. I've always got a soft spot for Khajiits, even though I never play them.
Yes, I like the Khajiits. I like, especially in Skyrim, I think they really gave them a lot more depth, and so they look great. But yeah, I don't. It's not my main character, but I have made one in the past. I think it was like a snow leopard looking one, and that looked really cool because it went with the whole theme of the Nords and the snow and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
thank you, Dave.
Thank you to Dave Bob. Thank you, sir. He says, "Merry Christmas and God bless us, everyone." Absolutely, God bless. Have a wonderful Christmas, Dave Bob. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you.
So wonderful. You guys are just the best. Absolutely.
Ensign Ricky says, I do Skyrim survival. It's the best way to play.
Man, I would give that a shot, but I just know it would probably end up pissing me off at some point. It's like, what do you mean? I have to go to an inn and poop now? Get the hell out of here with that.
And Soul Assassin says a Khajiit that turns into a werewolf. How does that work?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me how a guy born with dragon blood can also become a werewolf, a vampire, and a dragon all at the same time. I don't understand. I think you're mixing a few too many DNAs. I don't know. I mean, that's going to turn you into a freak. Also, real quick, going up the chat here. Yeah, Borg is asking, what do you think about the Mad God?
Oops. Let me see if I can grab that. I really
And
like him. I think it's
y'all
one of
gotta
those.
check. Y'all gotta check your spell. Check your spelling Khajiit wrong. That's okay. The Mad God. We are talking Shea Gorath, right?
Yes, Shagor.
And the cheese.
I like Wabberjack. I think that's a great weapon. I think that's
I never
really
really
interesting.
use it at all. I actually don't do that quest a whole lot. But big shout out to Wes Johnson because he brings that character to life, and I do know for a fact he is such a huge fan of the game. Like I heard somewhere that when Anniversary Edition came out, he was on stream all night just playing Skyrim for people. Gazitas wears for whatever race you wish to turn into. You know what? I shaved this morning too, so my Khajiit fur is now gone because it was, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Arwen likes that one too. I like it, but it's one of those weapons that you don't use very often because it turns against you, and if you do it wrong because it's a random, you can turn yourself into like a rabbit.
Yeah, it's a little weird like that, but yeah, I don't know. I guess it all just depends on the play style, because I love the Nightingale weapons. And hello, Wendology.
Merry Christmas, sweetheart.
Yeah, and if you ever play an assassin character, I love having Maroon's Razor. There's just infinitely useful combinations.
That, and I really like Dagon as a character. I think it's one of the more interesting Daedra.
The funny thing is, because he's like the Lord of Destruction and Change, and I can't believe how much of a geek I sound right now. But a lot of people would tease him saying, oh, well, he got his ass kicked in Oblivion, and he was the first Daedra to come down, and he failed. And he's like, no, guys, because if you look at it this way, Lord of Destruction and Change, he ushered in the fourth era. He did exactly what he set out to do. He changed Tamriel. He changed the whole planet of Nirn. That's exactly what he did. Yes, he got his butt kicked in the process, but that's all he wanted to do.
But he succeeded in what he wanted to do. Exactly. Ensign Ricky says, what are your guys' hopes for Elder Scrolls 6?
Off the top of my head, I hope by the time it comes out, we'll all still be fully mentally young enough to play it, because at this rate it could come out in the next 50 years.
Yeah, we'll get at least 5 more Elder Scrolls Skyrims before we get that game.
I'm really just hoping A, it doesn't take forever to come out, and B, whatever engine they're using to put this thing together, I hope it's just not a horrible buggy mess, because after
they've got to update the engine.
Yeah, because after everybody threw their hope eggs into the Cyberpunk basket and that blew up in everyone's face, it's like this is their one redeeming chance to get things right. It's like I said a few weeks ago on a different show. I said, I could see Starfield getting a couple slides because that's a brand new IP for them. But if they screw up Elder Scrolls 6, people are going to be coming after him with torches and pitchforks. I'm just throwing that out there. I just want it to be exciting.
They realized it, but Bethesda are kind of not the company that they were, as we were saying 10 years ago. So I have high hopes for it. I hope the game is great. But I did have high hopes for Elder Scrolls Online as well, and that didn't turn out as well. I mean, they had some great ideas, but the execution didn't work, unfortunately.
Yeah. What are you most looking forward to in Elder Scrolls 6?
Getting to have the same experience that I had in 5, to be honest. I would love a game that drew me in as much as Skyrim did, to be able to relive that in a brand new game, either in a brand new setting, or to be able to travel back to, familiar places that we've been in previous games.
Right.
That I would love. As open world as possible.
I'm sure it will
to be able to forge your own path within the game. That's what I want.
Yeah. I think the thing I'm most curious and excited about is I want to see where they go with Daedric quests.
Yes.
because they've had a lot of time to think about this and a brave new world to expand upon. I'm most curious about what they do with the Daedra in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't fuck it up. Just please don't fuck it up.
Yes, for the love of God. And the Daedra, they've got such a big following because people love the Daedra.
Oh yeah.
They love to root for the bad guy because they're the most
Yeah.
interesting. They have the most
Well,
personality.
and
We
that's
were talking about the Aedra, and we were struggling to remember the names of them.
yeah, and the funny thing about Daedra, God, I'm such a nerd. The funny thing about Daedra is, like Molag Bal is evil, he
Mm-hmm.
is evil. But if you look at all of them, yeah, they're the evil lords. They're the flip side of the divines or the Aedra or whatever. But the funny thing is with the Daedra is not all of them, well, most of them you couldn't really consider bad or evil or anything because their idea of good and bad are totally different than ours. They operate
Yes.
on a completely different moral compass. That's why you get races like the Dunmer and everything that still worship Boethia and Mephala and all that kind of stuff. They're totally different moral hemispheres out there that they operate under. So they don't.
Yes, I mean even the
Yeah.
Nords will worship Hircine, for
Mm-hmm.
example,
Yeah.
because of the connection that they have.
Yeah.
Soul Assassin wants to know favorite Thalm. I always use Fire Breath.
Favorite theme? You go first because I actually got to ponder this here.
I really like the fire. I think that's great, but I tend to use fire as the spell. So I've got to go for Fushdara,
Yeah.
being able to fling people off mountains.
Yeah. And I would say, and especially after you go through Solstheim and you get the upgrade that can literally just disintegrate people, like literally shout people to. Except Sithis is not a Daedra. He's just a very bad. He is the void.
This is awesome though. I really
Shout
like
out to
Hermaeus.
Cicero.
Is it Hermaeus Mora?
I am Hermaeus Mora, the guy who talks real slow. And you can't skip his dialogue either.
No, you can't. You're stuck with him. But I really love the design of him.
Yeah, because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in the first iteration of Skyrim, when it came out, he didn't have all that tentacly stuff, did he? Wasn't he just like some blue?
He was just like a vague kind of blob, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
It wasn't kind of like a Lovecraftian looking creature that they brought in.
I will say, Apocrypha, man, they really went wild with that stuff. That was unreal. And the funny thing is, I've only ever played through Dragonborn completely once, and I absolutely loved it. And I haven't gone back, but I think on the current playthrough I'm doing, I'm going back there.
Yes, and Soul Assassin brings up a good point. He said, I think that they keep re-releasing Skyrim to test for the next game. That is a possibility. I mean, I think it's more that people just really love Skyrim, and they know that if they just keep releasing it, people will buy it as an updated version. But I can see where you're going with that, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, if people would stop buying it, they'd stop releasing it. So
Yeah, but that's not going to happen.
Oh no, it never would. It never will.
It's not going to happen.
No, I don't know. There's just so much. Also, Ensign Ricky says he wants to see the Dwemer return. Because
Dwemer would be good. Yeah.
We never found out what happened to them.
Mm-mm.
And those dwarven ruins back when I first went through those, they used to freak me out a little bit. Because it's like,
weird,
the dwarves.
I hated the centurions that were there. They were really hard to kill.
Yeah.
That and the resistance of fire, if I remember correctly. So you got to like blast them with lightning or ice to freeze them in place.
Yeah, a Soul Assassin saying, "I hate that you can't remove the black books after getting them." There are mods for that.
Yes, there are.
You can remove them if you're on PC with console commands, but just I will say the same thing that everybody else does.
It's the same with the Dragon Scrolls, though. Once you pick those up, you're stuck with them until.
Well. Yeah, you can drop the Dragon scroll off at the College of Winterhold to the librarian in the Arcanium. That's the other thing I love doing too. I love going to the Arcanium, which is the library. I love just going book shopping there. It's like it's all the little things. So drop your Dragon scroll off at the Arcanium in the College of Winterhold, and if you complete Dawnguard,
Mm-hmm.
give Dexian those other 2 scrolls, and then all 3 are gone. You're done with them.
They're out of your inventory.
Yeah, so you can get rid of the black books through PC. You can use console commands. Just be very careful about how often you use console commands.
Yes.
I've mumbled enough. I'm shutting up.
You take care,
Skyrim, ladies and gentlemen.
Merry Christmas, honey. There was something I was going to ask because I just saw it in the chat and it's completely got out of my head because we were talking books. But that's another thing that, you know, a lot of people don't realize. You know, there's so much lore that you can read, and all of these books that you can pick up. There's backstory. There's backstory to all these characters that you don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
Project Storytime says my biggest complaint of the game is the lackluster voice acting.
But again, credit to the 12 people that they had do everything there.
Yes.
What a job that must have been.
We'll have to voice 500 different characters.
Yeah. Well, I think the story with that too is, you know, they put so much effort and, you know, they put so much money into, you know, their crappy engine or, you know, just world building that by the time it comes around to voice all these characters, they didn't really have much money left. So they just kept bringing in the same people to do 800 billion NPCs and shit in there. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I suppose we're lucky we didn't just have random people off the street voicing.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you go
for me, please. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, go back to Oblivion. You know, they had the same small voice cast in there, and that was really new territory for them because they'd never had a fully voice acted game before. And I think over half of their data that goes on the disc, when, you know, if you remember what those are, half the data went
that.
Yeah, half of the game data went to audio files because of all the voice acting they put in there.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy. Yeah, Oblivion they had like 3 or 4 voice actors there. Lydia could be. I love Lydia. I
like Lydia. Yeah, Lydia gets a lot of hate, but I like her as well. I've got to admit. The first time she did accidentally die, but the second time I played, I made sure to look after her.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like you say, she is loyal and she puts up with a lot of crap.
Oh yeah, I mean, from being a walking suitcase to, you know, a Thum practice target dummy or whatever, she puts up with a lot, and she's still sworn to carry your burdens. She
is, and she does.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to have to do a part 2 of this if you would be willing.
Oh God, there would be as many parts as there are friggin' Elder Scrolls books out there. Yeah. Well, let's
as many as there are Skyrims. Yes.
Yeah. Let's ask the chat. Would you guys like to see us ramble on about Skyrim again? Would you like us to do? I mean, we could do all these anyway. We could ramble on about Skyrim again. We could ramble. We could do a mod list. We could talk Oblivion. We could do whatever you guys want. What would you guys like to see first? Let us know.
Yes, I if I'm going to throw my hat in, I really like the idea of the mod list because I think that would be pretty funny. Just to compare, see if we have similar taste or whether it veers off completely.
We both have titty mods. I can tell you that.
Pretty much, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry, guys. No more choices. We'll do a mod show next time, and then yeah, we'll go back to talking about some old shit here, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. We figured it was about time to talk about a new game this time. So yeah.
A new game that's 10 years old, yeah.
Yeah, and still kicking.
It really is. And I think that is, you know, very impressive for a game that's as long. That isn't an online game, that is just a solo play game. You know, something that doesn't have anything that more people can join, that you can just, you know, dive into, and you can spend an hour or you can spend 10 hours. You can do quests or you can just run around hunting and do nothing for those 10 hours, but still have an amazing time.
Yeah.
And then have a dragon land on your head.
Yeah. Oh God, those dragons though, they're unreal. Actually, oh my God. Oh, thank you, DJ Ronnie D. G. Oh my God, I can't read.
Thank you, sweetheart. He sends us a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. He says, Merry Christmas, Purple Valkyrie. I played Skyrim for the first time during summer, but I'm currently hooked on Zelda. Ooh, good choice. I'd
Yeah.
still watch you hugs for Elder Scrolls anytime. Thank you, sweetheart. Have a very, very Merry Christmas, and I really, really appreciate seeing you. Thank you.
Such a festive, cheery group. You guys are
Hello,
awesome.
Cisco. Good to see you. Project Storytime says check your DMs. All right, will do. Let me check my DMs.
Ooh, someone is sending you wares now. Yes.
Okay, let me share this.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Project Storytime. Let me see. Share screen. Come on, bring it up. There we go. Okay, there we go. So,
Oh my god.
I think that's gonna have to be the thumbnail for the
Oh
next
god.
show.
That is beautiful. Paul, is you a werewolf?
That's brilliant.
Oh, Paul, I don't know how to deal with your beast blood. I am so concerned about your well-being. Oh, hey guys, also real quick, can y'all help me put my hair out? I just had to throw that out there. Thank you for that opening. That was much
That was
appreciated.
brilliant.
My
I
God.
love that. The only thing I
Oh,
didn't like about the werewolves was that they didn't have tails, but there's a mod for that.
of course, there's a mod for everything. There's also a mod that I have not tried yet, but I really want to try it because it did the same for vampires.
Mhm.
And again, this will be coming in the near future. The thing that prevents me from doing anything companion related is once you're in werewolf form, you pretty much can't do anything except kill things. Like
Mhm.
you can't open doors, you can't loot chests, you can't loot bodies, you can't do anything. You basically transform, kill things, and then wait for it to all wear off. You know. But there are mods out there that negate all of that. But,
Yes. And there is the
yeah.
ring that you can wear as well that you can activate the transformation with, which is very
Yeah.
useful.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
This-
infinitely useful.
And Soul Assassin says Underworld mod, vampires versus werewolves everywhere.
Werewolf? Oh my
Wow,
god.
werewolf?
I can't
Yes.
believe some yeah. I think there's a mod out there that also puts Celine from Underworld in there as a vampire or whatever. But
Since we are talking, and just before we wrap up, I've got to mention one of my favourite mods. It's one of the oldest ones. It's an oldie, but a goodie. It is the Macho Man Randy Savage Dragon.
or to avoid WWE coming after you, we'll call him Nacho Ham Candy Cabbage. It's there's also a dragon mod out there that turns them into Tommy Wiseau from The Room.
Seriously.
Yeah, you'll have this little pet dragon following you, going, "Oh, jeez, I am fed up with this world. I did not hit her. I did not. This bullshit." Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
It's like, yeah. So anyway, how's your sex life? Oh my god, it's him, and the chick from Werewolf. They sound the same. Maybe they're related. A brand new Scooby Doo mystery, guys. Whew. Yeah. Shout out to Nacho Ham Candy Cabbage.
Absolutely. First time I saw it, I just burst out laughing, and
Oh my god.
it's
Ooh,
it's
yeah.
it's had a special spot in my heart ever since.
Is it?
Just here, oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Is it still active on your mod list, or have
It
you?
is. Yep,
Oh,
still got
good
it.
God. Yeah. Oh, geez. Yeah. We will definitely have to get into a mod list because there's some must haves there. Guys, I can't believe the hour plus has
I
gone
know
already.
it
It's
has.
insane.
We had I this was a fantastic show. I knew
Mm.
it would when Zerpoium said, would you like to talk Skyrim? It's like, hell yes, we want to talk Skyrim.
You're gonna make me sound like I'm holding all the shows hostage here. That's not my intention. I just like getting to hang out with you guys. So thank you for putting up with my shit 3 times this week.
It was
Ah,
fun, and it was a great show yesterday
yeah.
as well, wasn't it? That was so
Oh, it's
funny.
so much fun to hang out with you guys and talk whatever it is you want to talk about.
What have you got coming up? Will you be back with Loki on Monday?
Oh, I'll be back with Loki on Monday, and then
Nice.
whenever, yeah, well, I'm always there on Monday with Loki. So catch us live on Mornings of Mischief, 0 hour. So glad I could buy my way into that promotion. No, I'm just kidding. Loki and I go way back, so didn't force my way into anything. But yeah, you can catch me there every Monday morning. Whenever Purple and I do a follow up to this,
Absolutely.
because you want to do one, at least once a month or something.
At least
like
once a month, I think. Absolutely.
Yeah. Not
that
not
would
that
be...
we have to wait that long, but you guys are always busy with your streams or whatever. So I'm just happy to be tagging along. But so yeah, I just want to give a big thank you to Purple Valkyrie for having me on to talk a fantastic game despite its flaws. And a special thank you to everyone in chat for all your stickers, your super chats, and just hanging out with us on Christmas Eve. So
Absolutely.
a very happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody. I will catch you before the new year. So thank you all so much. You guys make it all worth it. You're an absolute blast. Thank you.
So say we all. Absolutely. Guys, a massive thank you to my fantastic co-host, Zerpoium. Always a joy to get to chat games with you. A massive thank you to everybody who joined us today, guys. You are on fire as always. We had some amazing comments. You guys are the best. A huge thank you to everybody who sent super chats, who sent super stickers, who said Merry Christmas. Guys, we could not do this without you. And I love you. I do. I love you all. So, let me say a very Merry Christmas. Have a wonderful weekend. No doubt we will see each other over the weekend, but have a fantastic rest of your Friday. Merry Christmas to everybody. Look after each other. Take care. Relax if you can. And we will see you very soon. So, guys, have a wonderful day and mwah, love you all.
Fus!